from the extremely rainy Pacific Northwest, which, hey, no surprise, if you've ever been here or you live here, you know that this is a rainy time of year. We did not have to deal with snow where I'm located, like the rest of the country, which is pretty nice, although I do miss snow from time to time. But I've decided to brave the weather this fine day to do some shopping. So first up, Bizou, the really great little bead store. Great selection, really good sales. Like right now I think they have some different beads at like 60% off, which is great. I do get a lot of beads for like things like I do workshops. I have an idea right now for a beaded shirt that I want to work on. So just looking for some inspo. And spoiler alert for later, I have a really hard time not buying things when I come here. Next up, the main reason for this trip was a sale that a local theater group was having on costumes and fabrics. I got here a little late, so I didn't film much. It wasn't much left, but I did manage to get a couple of things. So I didn't film because it was a little too chaotic, but I did pick up a couple pieces. So I did grab this just plain long sleeve button down shirt. It has some stains on the collar and some of the cuffs, but I think that's it. I'm going to try to run this through the wash and see if I can get some of that out, but I also plan to bead or embroider on the sleeves and collar to make it a little cuter, but I'm trying to also just have more things to layer, and I like that this was so long. But yeah, this was $3, so pretty good deal. The theater sale also had some yarn for 50 cents, but I actually got this for free because I paid in cash and they did not have any quarters, so that's pretty nice. And then this is my haul from Bizou, which is just a couple different colors of green and blue beads. Potentially what I'm going to use to bead the shirt, but we'll see. I have also some other plans for more beading projects coming up. Okay, we're having a little bit of a moment of vulnerability for me to share with you. This crop top that I've had for several years and was originally white, and at some point I decided to dye it, and I don't know much about dyeing fabric. It was just like, you know, a very basic dye, and it insanely reacted with, I did wash the shirt even before dyeing it, but it must have reacted with like the sweat or like the pit stains, and like I think it was a little stained before, but like I don't usually have this radical of like a stain, but it is like basically unwearable at this point because the pits are so incredibly discolored versus the rest of it. So the hope and prayer that I want to do with this, because I don't want to just throw it away, I'm thinking about just cutting off the sleeves and creating kind of a crop vest moment, and then beading the entire thing and like using it to layer other outfits. I think that could be really cute. And I haven't done like a really major beading project, and I'm trying to make my wardrobe more fun and interesting. So that is the plan for this. Hello and welcome to my fashion moment with my little embroidery hoop. This is kind of inspiring me a little bit to want to make some interesting shapes with using relief on clothing. But yeah, this is what I have done so far. I removed the sleeves. I did give it a little extra room here, like removing more fabric, just because if I fully intend to bead this, I don't want it to rub against my arms in any way, or like I kind of have some sensitivities with that kind of stuff. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do a little quick mock-up of what I'm thinking currently, and upon further reflection, I don't think it makes sense to fully bead the entirety of the vest. It's mostly for time, but also structurally I think this fabric is not going to be good for that. So right now the plan of attack is going to be to do a combination of beading and embroidery, and I think the embroidery will hopefully help strengthen the fabric a little bit too, and I might have to back certain parts of it with additional heavier fabric, but hopefully I can find workarounds for that because I do have a vision for this now. And yeah, I think right now what I'm thinking is kind of this trippy, psychedelic, kind of in my brain a little sci-fi, kind of sunny, cloudy day with these acid green clouds, which I think will be fun and kind of already work with the base color that I already have. So yes, this is what I'm thinking right now. Somewhat subject to change, as the process girlies know, things are always changing. Okay, I do not plan to do this all the time, but I just wanted to show you guys my lunch because it's so cute. Again, millennial, so we have avocado toast. And then these pickles and pickled onions I made myself. They're pickled together, that's why the cucumbers are a little pink as well. And then candied salmon, which delicious, one of my favorite snacks. But yeah, that's my lunch today. This was the only somewhat sunny day that I had all week. So I headed over to one of the largest gardens in Vancouver, which is called Van Dusen. They always put out these different plants that you can find on your walk, which is really cute. And just a heads up, if you're planning on visiting or you live in the area, this is a paid garden to go into. There's other free ones, but this one is really beautiful and really well upkept. Like they manicure it so well. And it's really beautiful. It's a very interesting time of year to visit because it's still in transition. So half the garden is in bloom and then half of it is still in winter mode, which might blow some minds because I know that it's much warmer here than it is in many places right now, and it might be kind of crazy to already see these flowers and things, but the West Coast, we're pretty lucky. So yeah, I really love coming to this garden. It's so beautiful, very peaceful. I'm very inspired by nature, and I love going for these little walks because I can take some time for myself to reset and be inspired and relax all at the same time. And I'm also a gardener myself, so it's really beautiful to see. And probably as we get into the warmer months, I will show you some of my gardening. I did want to show, I have a little like small greenhouse in my yard, and I was going to plant some seeds, but we ended up getting snow like a couple days after this footage was shot. Very light snow, it didn't stick, but I was worried about the cold snap, so I have not planted it yet. But I will take you along for that when I start to get into more gardening stuff as well, just because it is, for me, very tied to my creative process and my inspirations. So, and that's what this channel is really about in the end, is just things that bring me joy. So look forward to that. As I mentioned, this is the little bit of snow we got, but hopefully it doesn't hurt my lilac bush, which is starting to grow in, and I have some other plants that are just starting to peek out, and so I was so worried about the cold snap hurting them. But I think they're okay. It didn't get too bad.
Jupiter's gravitational pull, but we're able to somehow get inside the probe's computer. For any more answers, though, as needs more memory and storage. It's worth noting, too, that the binary at the bottom.
Not bad for what was essentially unwearable a week ago. I'm really happy with how this top turned out, or is turning out, I should say. You will continue to see this probably in the next video or two as I finish it up. But I really like the look of it layered. I really like the ombre that I'm doing with all the different elements in the top. And I'm really happy that there has not been too much distortion. Sometimes when a design is on a hoop, it's very different to actually be worn on the body. And also because this is right on my bust, I knew that there was potential for some distortion, and that is part of why I went with more of a simple design. But fortunately, there hasn't been too much of that, and I think it actually looks pretty good, and the sun was probably the element that was most likely to look a little weird in that case. So that part's done, and I'm happy with it. So looking very cool. I also have an update about this like $3 theater shirt that I got. I was able to remove, it had stains on the collar and the cuffs of like some stage makeup, so I just did some stain remover and ran it through the wash a couple times, which took care of like 90% of the issue. So I think my initial thought was that I was going to do some beading or embroidery on it to cover that, but I'm thinking now I might just leave it plain, because I actually like having like one plain element to like layer underneath more interesting tops, and I have a bunch of like crochet vests and tops that look really cute layered, so that's going to be a big part of my spring wardrobe, I think. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to keep working on this and take you guys along for the process. I hope spring is being gentle to all of you as well. I know that some places still have snow, and I'm sure it's very rainy for a lot of people. I'm glad we had at least one sunny day for me to go to the garden, and I'm getting so inspired by all the plants coming back. Such an interesting transitional time. And I really hope that you all are staying dry, staying warm, and I will be talking to you soon. So have a great rest of your week, and see you soon.